All right. Welcome, everybody, to today's Colorado Business Hangout. And we're going to be going over Facebook for local business and how to build, connect, engage, and influence. So I am Brad Kilgore, and I am on with Doug DiMercurio today up in northern Colorado. How are you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing terrific, Brad. Uh, couldn't be better. It's a beautiful day here today. I was expecting it to be a little chillier, but another sunny day in Colorado. Gotta love it.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I think we got one more nice warm day, and then the cold and chilly weather hit.
It is supposed to roll in, but you're going to get out of here just in time.
Yep, I'm heading for the beach. So so yeah, I'm looking forward to today's hangout and just bringing pure value and loaded with information and give you all the goods that we can share with you. Our buddy Robert out in Florida is not with us today. I think he was a little under the weather, so hopefully he'll be with us next time. I do want to point out that due to next week being the holiday, Thanksgiving week, we are not going to have our regularly scheduled Wednesday Colorado Business Hangout. But we will rebound after that on the following week with some new and powerful training for you as well. So right now we're going to kind of kick off this week's training, and like always, we do respect your time and know that you've got plenty of stuff going on in your business world. So we're going to keep it short, concise, to the point, and at the same time have a lot of fun. So with that, I am going to what we call in Google Plus land and Google Hangout land. I'm going to blue box Doug and turn it over to him, and he's going to kind of lead our presentation today on social media, or excuse me, Facebook marketing for local business. So here we go, Doug.
Okay. Well, thank you, Brad, and welcome everybody. Got some great tips for you today on how to utilize Facebook for your local business. And so I'm going to switch over here to this screen share slide here and take you through kind of a quick little presentation. I'm not going to get real technical with you today. I'm just going to talk about ways to use Facebook to get you the most bang for your buck. You know, I'm not going to talk about setting up your Facebook account, any of that type of stuff. Really what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, just real quickly, you know, what is Facebook, why use it, some tips for engaging on Facebook, how to make it work for you and your business, and then some things to do and then things not to do. If you do the wrong things, you can get your Facebook account or get thrown into Facebook jail, as some people say. And so we don't want that to happen to you. So again, just to tie this into what we have been doing over the last several weeks, we've been talking about the 4 cornerstones of online marketing for the local business. Number 1 is having your website, making sure that that's properly positioned for the search engine so that you show up when people are searching. Number 2 is local directories, which we talked about that, things like Google Places, Google Maps, Yelp, and so on. Social media, which is that's one of the things that we're talking about today. Facebook being one of the, well, not one of the, but being the gorilla in terms of social media sites. It's the one that most people use. And then video marketing, which we'll touch on in the future. So what is Facebook? Well, we talked about that. It's, you know, it's the biggest social media platform out there, and it's not just for fun and games. This is a huge, huge business tool. You know, why do I say that? Well, why use Facebook? Why Facebook for local businesses? This is just a few statistics. Okay, there's over 1 million other websites. This is not. I'm not talking about people here, but websites, business websites that have integrated with Facebook. So when you're using Facebook, there's 1 million websites out there that potentially that could connect with you. Now there are over 1 billion Facebook users. So in terms of number of potential customers, clients, whatever, over 1 billion people are using Facebook right now. And 23% of the people that use Facebook, so that means over 250 million people, check their accounts 5 or more times every day. I mean, that's just astounding to me when I think about that in terms of numbers. And 80% of the people that use Facebook prefer to connect with brands, or in other words, businesses. You know, people that have a business or a service or a product. They prefer to connect with brands on Facebook. So those are really powerful numbers. So, you know, when we talk about the search engines and how all of that works, in Google's, you know, they have their algorithm that, you know, the goal there is to get on the first page, because not many people go beyond the first page. The goal with Facebook is to get your posts seen by people. And the way that your posts get seen is determined with Facebook's algorithm. They call it EdgeRank or whatever. And what determines whether your post actually shows up at the top of somebody's news feed is determined by what's called EdgeRank, which what the formula for that is affinity score times weight times time. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want you to understand what it is. Affinity score is basically a rating of how many times people visit your page. So the more people that visit your page, the higher your affinity score. The weight, it rates how often people engage with your posts, meaning how often do they like or comment on a post that you put out there. Okay, so that's going to determine, you know, the weight of a particular post. And then the time, what that refers to is it takes into consideration how old is it. The newer it is, then the higher the ranking is going to be. So if you have a lot of people that visit and they're engaging with your posts often, liking or commenting on them, and the post is relatively new, then that's going to be higher and higher on in some news to show up ahead. If you have a lot of comments on there and it's relatively new, it's going to show up ahead of all the people that are posting after you have, that are newer, that have no comments. So it's real important to understand how that works. What I'll talk to you about today is okay, my computer is on a short delay here. And let's see what's it's coming back. This seems to happen every week at this time, Brad.
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Doug. Periodically, it seems like right when you're in the middle of a presentation, it has a tendency to cut out or glitch. But you gotta love live technology, you know.
We do. We've got a lot going on here. Okay. So.
Yeah, from what I can tell, you are showing up with your slide. That was the previous slide. I'm also checking you on the test screen here, and as of right now, I still just see the EdgeRank slide. And it looks like, very possibly, we lost Doug, at least momentarily, but if I know Doug, he's pretty savvy, and he'll jump back on here pretty quickly. So we'll just kind of pick up where he left off, because sometimes when you're on live television, so to speak, stuff does go a little haywire. Couple of things that that Doug mentioned that I'm just going to show you live on my screen is pretty important. And when it comes to Facebook in general, one thing that a lot of people don't know is in your settings right here, I'm on my news feed page, but right here it's telling me am I seeing the most recent things or top stories. So if I go to top stories, then it actually shows stuff with engagement much more so than just what's the exact most recent thing. And so, and I find that Facebook actually changes that on me quite frequently without really telling me. So I try to keep it on most recent for the most part, because I like to see, you know, what's the most recent information and news out there, not just necessarily what's got the most engagement. But that does happen fairly frequently. Looks like Doug is starting to come back on. Doug, can you hear me at this point? All right. Well, Doug's trying to get back on, and then we'll get back to his presentation. The other thing that's important to remember is when you are logged in as a business, you actually have a lot of extra information here at the top that the general public can't see, and it's essentially your statistics, your admin panel, and it shows you the different posts that you've made and the reach that you've had with those posts. They also give you the ability to pay to boost the post, which some people choose to do, and if it's used correctly, that can be very effective as well. And you also have the ability to kind of see everything when you're in the back end here, or you can literally hide this or show it. But when it is turned on, you can see messages that people have sent you. This is a business page, so you can see messages that people have sent me. I can go in there and invite people perhaps that haven't gotten on. I can see different things here about how many people like the page and what have you. I can of course promote the whole page versus just a post, and that's of course paid advertising as well. And then there's other information up here too, where I can view insights, and this is really the whole analytics of a page, a business page, and it goes into great detail of what really happened when you posted that particular information. And so there's training on all these as well. If you were to go into YouTube.com does have training videos. Typically you can find on Facebook Insights. I imagine Facebook probably has their own videos as well. Yeah, it gives you quite a bit of information on the back end here that most people aren't aware of. And analytics are important. You want to find out what's working and what's converting, and what people are engaging with and that type of thing. And it really gives you all that information here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you can start looking through it, and you can see actually how people are coming to your Facebook page as far as refers, external refers. So that information is pretty powerful. Doug, I can see your picture on there, but I can't hear you or see your screen at this point. So not sure if you're getting back on yet or not, but I do not hear you at this point. So I will continue forward best I can here. So the other things when it comes to Facebook as well is on the business side of things, if we were to look at a website here, a couple of things that are important here that a lot of people don't know as well. As you start building up the Facebook page or business page on Facebook, you start seeing some of this information here. 6 people were talking about it, 224 likes, 4 were here, so that's recent information. And people have also rated it. They have a new rating system here where people can actually start leaving you reviews here and do ratings. So if I wanted to rate them as a 5-star, I can go ahead and put a little quote or a review, and I've left them a 5-star, and then I can just say review. Best moving company in Denver, highly recommended. Let's see, highly recommended, and then review. Okay, so I have now left them a review as well. So this is another new feature that a lot of people don't know about, where just like Google reviews and other local directory reviews, Facebook has this new feature where people can leave you positive reviews, or they could leave you a negative review as well. So you want to keep an eye on that, and just be aware of that area right there. So you've got that. You've also got this area here where essentially these are things that I have liked or this person has liked as a business. and these are recent posts by others. So these people have posted to the business page, and I could actually pull that over to the I could pull these over to the news feed here on the page if I so chose. Like I said, I can also invite more people, and move up just a little bit here. Another thing that you want to be aware of when you're on a business page, or let's say this is your business page, you have the ability here to post as the company or as the person. So that can change back and forth. Looks like we've got Doug back on there. I do see your smiling face.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you now.
Okay.
Now, do you have the ability? I don't see you in the attendees list. Do you have the ability to show your screen? Yeah, you just popped on. There you went. Okay. So let me, yeah, go ahead and give it a go. Let me turn off my screen. Okay. See if we can go back to your slides. I just kind of picked up and went over some other Facebook ideas while we had you off screen.
Okay. So let's try this again here. I'm not sure why this is continues to happen like that. Did you cover any of this? Did you see this while it was on there? Or?
No, I never actually saw that slide on our Hangout today.
Okay, so here we are, and so we were talking about EdgeRank, and so here's tips for better engagement and how to get people to engage with your page, with your posts. You want to keep your status updates or your posts, whatever, keep them short, under 80 characters for best engagement. And when you do post them outside of normal business hours, because you want to post them when people are actually looking or they're on Facebook. If they're at work, they're not likely to be allowed to look at Facebook, even though people do now and then, but they're not going to be on there for the length of time that they would be, you know, if they were home in the evening. So post outside of normal business hours when people are likely to have time to respond and engage with your posts. Ask questions. So that's, you know, one way to get a response is to ask a question, and where people, you know, they'll want to be inclined to answer. Use, when you're doing questions, use what, who, when questions rather than why. And then anybody that does respond to a question or does respond to a post, make sure that you reply to people that do engage with you. That's engagement in itself. When you are responding to what someone else posts, that's additional engagement. And then a good tip is, you know, some studies have shown that the best days to post are Wednesday through Sunday. So Monday, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, if you're only going to be posting a few days a week, for example, make sure you do it Wednesday through Sunday. And then the things that get the most engagement in order are photos, number one, get the most engagement, followed by videos, and the next following after that would be text, and then links. So if you're just posting links in there, you're posting the least likely thing to get engagement. So think about posting pictures, photographs, and those are the things that are going to get people engaged. So.
Absolutely. Let's go back to that slide for just a second, please, Doug.
Sure.
Okay. So I think that Doug made a key point there, and this is probably one of the biggest things, is reply to those who engage with you. Okay? If you only check your business Facebook page once every 2 weeks, you're probably not going to get much engagement to begin with anyway, but if you did and they posted, you know, if they interacted with you a week and a half ago and now you're just now responding, you're kind of missing the boat. So if you're really going to take your business Facebook page seriously, you need to go on there consistently, and if you do see people commenting or liking or what have you, engage with them, you know, especially if they've left some sort of written text on there in an answer to your question, or saying, you know, commenting on your post in some general manner, then definitely just engage with them, even if it's to say, hey, thanks for engaging, you know, so to speak. Thank you for commenting, or whatever it is, you know. But acknowledge them and engage with them the best you can, and make it a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And that doesn't mean that you have to log on to Facebook 5 times a day necessarily. If you have somebody on your staff that likes doing that, you could do that. But you can set up your account so that you get an email notice when somebody comments on your posts, and that way you can, respond to that right away from your phone, if whatever. Um,
Right.
but you don't have to be logging into Facebook all the time checking to see if somebody responded or not. Just
Right.
set up your notices so that Facebook will let you know when that happens, and then you can, that's an efficient way of using your time.
Right. One other thing I'll throw in on that same topic is most people who have a smartphone have a Facebook app on their phone, but you can also get one called Page Manager, that's an add-on app for Facebook that you can install on your smartphone, and then essentially you can have that connected to your business page, and that way when somebody does interact or comments, you actually get a notification right there on your phone, and you can comment right back to them. So it's pretty slick.
Yeah, and so if you need more information about that, feel free to contact us. And we can definitely show. So, in summary here, to get better engagement, you want to post a photo with short captions or call to action in the form of a question. Do it outside of normal business hours, and that's going to give you the best engagement opportunities and get you into the most news feeds. And news feeds, that's just where it shows up in front of, when people are looking at their Facebook account, that's, to see what's going on. Now, here's something that's real important. When you are doing posts, this is what we call the 10 by 3 by 1 rule. For every 14 posts that you do, 10 should be posts with the goal of getting people to engage, what we were talking about, increasing engagement. These posts can be funny, they can be topical, entertaining, etc. Okay? And so 10 out of 14 posts should be only with the goal of getting people to engage with your business page. 3 posts out of 14 should be links or videos to industry relevant stories. So things that have to do with your industry. And only 1 out of 14 should have a link that leads back to a blog or a landing page to, directly related to your business. So you want to be engaging people with humor, topical, points of topical interest. You want to give them a little bit of education relative to your industry, not specifically about your company, but about your industry as a whole, things that are going to help them in their lives. And then 1 out of 14 can be a link to your blog or your business. Any comments there, Brad? Does that sound true to you?
Yes, I do agree with that. I'd say for the most part, those numbers are pretty accurate how you want to do it. It's amazing to me. I'm just going to cut over and show you my screen for a minute and just show you a couple of examples and then some real-life things that you can do, and then we'll cut back over to Doug. But one thing that I find, this is kind of amazing. Bear with me while I scroll through. This type of stuff, this is a business page, but this is essentially a humorous post about the dog and he ate the pillow and it exploded or something. What's amazing is when you see that kind of stuff is out of all the posts recently, this is one that got 540 people saw that post, versus when we're looking at something that's more a link to a video or a blog post, only 108 people saw that post. Also, the engagement factor. This one had 4 shares. This one had 1 share. So it's always that. It never seems to amaze me about the fact that when you're putting silly stuff up there or just kind of humorous stuff, it really gets people to engage. And then what I always encourage people to do is if you're posting it on your business page, in this case, this is a company that I help out with their social media. Typically, what I'll do is once I post that, I then go and I share that, and when I do that, it asks me where I want to share it. So I manage a lot of pages, so I could essentially put it on my own timeline or on a page that I manage, But usually what I'll do is if I'm doing it for somebody else, I'll put it over onto my business page. I'll share it over there. And then I also will share it onto my own timeline. And so then it goes onto my personal news feed as well. And so that just puts thousands of more eyes on the post. And the cool thing is wherever that post lands, it's still going to have that company name up there. So even if they're seeing this funny picture, they're still seeing the company name and information. And so that they can click on that. You know, they can see where that came from. And so it's just some extra little juice there as far as people seeing it, possibility to engage, and the whole bit. So kind of cool.
Yep, absolutely. And if they see it and they like it, you know, they may click on the photo because they want to share it with somebody or whatever. It's going to take them to your page, and they might choose to like your page, and then whenever you post something, they're going to get your posts.
Right,
So,
right. Well, and I've had people where I've taken a company post like that, posted it to my personal page, and then sometimes 5 or 10 people that are my personal friends then in turn share that silly picture, and all those people that have now shared it, it's all got that company's information on it, and it's now getting shared to hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of more people, and they could all get exposed to that company.
exactly. It goes to the friends of your friends. So
Yeah.
that's great. So again, remember that 10 by 3 by 1 rule. Okay, so let's switch to the next slide here. So here's some engagement ideas for you. Ways to increase engagement, for ideas for posting to increase engagement. If you go ahead and put a funny picture and say, caption this, so that people are going to put their captions underneath in the comment. You can have fill in the blank photos. So a statement or whatever with a room for them to fill in the blank, where they can do that on a comment below. Ask questions, relative to, current topics, things like that. Ask people to click like if you agree, or comment below if you disagree when you, post a status update there. Put some funny cartoons in there, just for humor. Post some interesting infographics. An infographic is this kind of a hot trend right now, and that people are creating images that carry a lot of information on them. So it's a graphic image that has a lot of information. It's not just a post. So if you do that, it can be something that people want to share because it has. And then you can post unique memes. Let me give you an example here. I'm going to share a different window. And if I can find it. We got all kinds of crazy stuff going on here.
I'm going to show an infographic real quick while you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an example of an infographic image here. Let me on Blue Box Doug. There we go. This is an infographic, and there's lots of little infographic makers out there, or you can use other people's infographics if you have permission to do so. So here's one that talks about LinkedIn, for example. So they're pretty slick looking. Anyway, just wanted to make sure you guys knew what that was. So let's cut back over to Doug. Doug, you are live.
See my screen okay here?
Yep.
Okay. So here's an example of a couple of memes that I created. This one here in particular took a picture of some shoes that were hanging on the telephone wires. I don't know what city that is. And then I just, a meme is an image with a message in the image itself. Okay, so, and I just put here, let's have a moment of silence for all those guys that tried to walk across power lines but fell because someone tied their shoes together. And this was just something, again, it was just for fun. Here's another one here that I created, just a picture of this kid sitting with his feet up on a desk and said, My dad invented "Take Your Child to Work" Day. He forgot to drop me off at school on his way to work. So those are what memes are. Here's another example of a meme. This is kind of a tiny little image, but it's just a picture with a message in it.
Can you click on the picture?
Can I click on the picture?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then it'll show it bigger.
Yep. My computer's being slow.
A little bit. Not a huge deal. Yeah, it's going real slow.
It's going real slow. So I'm in trouble here. Okay, Brad, switch to your, let's see, here we go.
There you go, it went away.
Yeah. So I am going to, wow, this is really slow. Let's see if I can get back to, well, looking at that picture took me somewhere totally different.
Yeah, at this point I see a black screen, so I'll take you off a blue box momentarily until we can get you straightened out. Yeah, I mean, the memes thing is, you see it all the time where people are just kind of posting silly stuff and what have you, and if you look closely at those, a lot of times people are sharing those and not realizing that it's got a link or a URL, somebody's website in there, and that's getting exposure. So anyway, it looks like Doug's got his going again, so we'll click back over to him.
Yeah, we're back. So again, we just went over those, posting ideas. So you want a majority of your posts to be created for the purpose of engagement, so it gets as many people's news on their news feeds as possible. It gets people seeing you. It's going to increase your edge rank and get your other posts seen more often because of the amount of engagement on your Facebook page itself. And then create posts that are relevant to their interests, not posts that promote yourself necessarily. And then 1 out of every 14 can actually be self-promotional with a link that's leading back to a landing page, meaning something where people can put in their information and you can get them on another list so you can communicate with them in other ways, like email or outside of Facebook itself. So, Brad, that's what I've got so far, and I don't know if you have any of your clients that have pages that you might want to share if they're doing a particularly good job, with their Facebook page. I know we're running up at the half-hour mark here, so certainly open to to taking questions from anybody that's on this right now. And
couple of things that I would point out to people is when you're posting on Facebook in general, but my motto, but especially when you're representing your business or somebody else's business on Facebook, things that I would steer clear of is politics. I would not bring up politics or post about that. I would not be using foul language on there. And if somebody does put something on your business page wall, they've commented on there, they've spammed you, any of those types of things, you have the ability to remove that very quickly and efficiently. And I block them. If somebody posts on my wall for a business without permission, if it's just commenting on the subject and it's polite and friendly, then I see no problem with it, even if I don't know them. That's okay. But if they're posting something on there or they're spamming some link on there that has nothing to do with what we're talking about and they're just trying to take advantage of our area, then I'll block them and I'll report them to Facebook and I'll dump them off there immediately. And like I say, that little Pages Manager app on the phone is helpful because I see something that comes across on any of the pages I manage right away. And so I get rid of that stuff. But like I say, keep it positive. people don't want to see something about your business page about, something negative that happened to you in your business. I mean, things will happen, of course, but you probably don't want to be broadcasting a bunch of negativity to the world, especially when it comes to your business. I'm sure that we all see it enough just on our personal Facebook feeds, and people that we know that really don't know anything about Facebook etiquette and just being kind of a good citizen out there. I'm not saying you want to post everything, even on your personal page that's just perfect and lovey-dovey and everything is wonderful, but keep it real, keep it keep it on the up and up, and represent your company in a positive light, and it'll go a long, long ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And understand that, the Facebook as a medium, it's social media, and keep in mind that social media, Facebook is like going to a party, okay? And so it's like if you went and you met someone at a party, this evening, are you going to stand there and talk to them about your business the whole time? No, you're going to talk to them about things that are funny, things that are humorous. Here's what happened to me, things that are going on in the news. That's what you want to have out there. And then every now and then somebody's going to say, well, what do you do? And that's when you can talk to them about what you do. So it's about 1 out of 14 is where you talk about your business. Now, some of the tips for what to do and what not to do. I mean, you mentioned a couple of things there already, Brad, but if you're going to talk about your business, do it from your business page. Don't do it from your personal page, okay, your personal account. So when you create your Facebook account, your personal account, keep everything on your personal account personal. Keep it simple. If something real positive happened to you because of your business, well, that's kind of a personal thing, and you can talk about that. But do not pitch your business on your personal page. That's probably the biggest no-no that I see for lots of people. And again, even your business page, what we talked about, it's that 10 by 3 by 1 rule. On your business page, most businesses out there that I see really violate that rule. It's just business post after business post after business post. And so the ones that get lots of engagement and show up in people's news feeds are the ones that follow the 10 by 3 by 1 rule. So definitely do that. And then as far as other tips, Brad, any that popped to the top of mind for you?
Be consistent. Be consistent with this stuff. It may, in the beginning, especially seem like nobody sees your stuff and nobody interacts with you. And if you've only got 5 followers or 5 likes on your business page, you probably want to find some ways to get other people to like your page. Invite people that you know. Put it on your business cards. Put it on your email address, your email signature, and those types of things, and ask people, would you mind liking my page? I do just share positive information and valid content on my page. It'd be great if you could participate, and most people will. And so, yeah, if you've got a business page and you don't really have anybody on there, it's going to be a pretty much a ghost town. So you have to. It's a steady process. You're going to need to build some people up on there, and it takes some time. There's nothing wrong with inviting people to your business page that you know, and you can do that right through the Facebook platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And that triggered a thought with me too when you talked about consistency. If you want people to be engaging with what you're doing, then be consistent about it. If you can only do it once a week, just do it once a week, but do it at the same time on the same day, each week. So people they'll start to anticipate your next post. So if you're only going to do it once a week and you do it at noon on Mondays, do it at noon on Monday every week. Be consistent about it. 95% of the people out there are not consistent. And so just being consistent about it will increase the amount of engagement that you get. If you can do it 3 days a week, do it on the same 3 days every week and post at the same time on each of those days, so that people know they can rely on you when you're going to be posting stuff. So yeah, consistency is absolutely huge.
Right. I'm going to close with one last thing here, and I'm going to show it to you visually. The fact that you have a Facebook page and you have people participating on there and what have you, this part right here, the about part, is huge, because this is they can essentially click this phone number to call you if they're on a mobile device, or if they have Google Voice installed on their computer like I do. Let me go back a page here. I mean, I literally could call them from my computer if I chose to. It shows me the hours. In this case, this company is 24/7, so they're always open. It shows me the city that they're based out of, and essentially what their main business service is. And then if I want to dig a little bit deeper, this stuff really is mandatory that you fill it out, because Facebook's giving you a platform, to really put your content in there. This is a hyperlink to their website. Here's a hyperlink to their email, phone number. I mean, everything is right there. So it's very, very crucial that you fill this information out and take advantage of it. Because if you don't, you're kind of missing the boat. Make sure you get a good quality cover photo in here. You basically, to change that, if you, I don't think I'm logged into them. If I change over to them, one thing you want to do is get your profile picture here for your company, which is essentially a logo, and then so I can. Anyway, if you're logged in as this company, you'll see a button right here that can change that cover photo, and make sure you get something that looks right in there and that centers right in there. If you put something in there and you have the ability to slide these up and down once they're in there, if you're the editor or the owner, if you put it in there and it's not, if it doesn't fit right, get another picture. This is important real estate, and you can put a nice picture in there with phone numbers. I mean, you can really go to town on this stuff, but get your logo in there right, and that type of thing. And then lastly, you can get what's called a custom URL with the company name, and that's much easier to share than the default one that Facebook gives you. So do some of those things. This is real simple stuff to find out. Just do a search for custom domain or custom name on Facebook, and it'll show you how to do that. Make sure you get your picture right. Make sure you got your logos in there. Make sure you got your about information in there, and just really make it professional, because that's the name of the game. Make it look like you care about your business, and other people will care about you as well.
Yeah, I mean, just you need to look at that page as though it's another website. It's your website. It's a free website platform. And again, like Brad said, here's another one of our clients, Brad, that I think does a really good job. And you can see his cover photo. It's appealing. It's attractive. And if you look at the types of things that he's putting on there, these are kind of cute, funny photographs. It's an insurance business or whatever, but let's hope they're insured. Let's hope they're insured. So, but again, all the things that you were talking about, phone number and all that in the About page, you can create a tab here where you actually get your logo so it shows up. But this is just like when somebody visits a website, and again, it's free real estate. So, that's just, I think, it's just critical. It's Facebook. There's just so many people on Facebook today looking for, like we talked about, 80% of Facebook users prefer to engage with a business, on Facebook.
Right.
So,
and Facebook's a search engine.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, this is where they look. They're not going to Google first. They're going to look for a company through Facebook.
Absolutely.
So you need to be there. Well, Brad, I think we can probably call it a day. I want to wish everybody great holidays. We will be giving you next week off, and ourselves as well. And for the Thanksgiving holiday, Brad's going to be heading off to Hawaii or Kauai. So there you go.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the beach.
There you go. There you go. And so have a blast. We'll look forward to connecting with you on the next Colorado Business Hangout in 2 weeks. And I believe that is going to actually be in the month of December, December 4th. Can you believe we're already in the last month of the year on our next Hangout?
Pretty amazing.
Incredible, incredible. So I wish you all the best holidays. Go out, enjoy life, help others do the same. And Brad, have a great time. We'll see you. I'll be talking to you before then, but we'll see the rest of you in 2 weeks.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for participating, and happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon.